Hello and welcome to the Guyanese Friends podcast, my sports enthusiast. You heard me correctly. I'm your host with the most, Alex, back once again.
Hello, everybody. My name is Deveshwar Singh. You can call me Dev. What have you bring to me again, my friend? I see you something cooked up, a very juicy story. I see.
Yes, well, it's close to Thanksgiving while we're recording this, so we have the second part of Guyanese Friends Indo-South American Cricket. So this part is more or less us explaining to you, the info was part one. This part is more or less us giving you our hands-on experience. What I mean by our experience playing cricket over the years and the teams in Guyana.
So we're about the Yappuccino. I see. Well, I got my degree, so.
Same here, we got our degrees, unlike some people.
Oh, come on. They will get their Yappuccino very soon.
No, I'm not talking about our crew.
Oh, I know what you mean by. I'm just give you an inside joke.
And without further ado, let's begin. So to lead us into this glorious subject, yes, I know.
Glorious, okay.
I want you to keep this question in mind. Why should I be interested in cricket? Keep this in mind while you're listening to us. So my overall experience with cricket started when I was like around 4 to 5. We started to play cricket in front of our houses. We have two types of balls. You have the regular rubber balls and you have one we have tape over. The tape ones are, let's just say, more deadly. They do not have the bounciness that you would have in your rubber balls.
Let me cook you on that real quick. Forgive me. Let me cook you on that. You see, the bouncy version, which is the rubber version, when you tape that's the tape ball he speaks of. Also, there is also, when you mean by two types of ball, the version you should be speaking of is the hard ball and the soft ball.
Yes, basically, for all my baseball fans out there, but our terminology is not, the hard ball is not the way you throw it, it's the literal composition of the very ball.
Because take into account, that ball is not necessarily made of rubber, it's made of a type of substance I cannot remember. Apologies. You guys can find it out on your own.
The hard balls, you definitely have tape over them, like homemade, you use tape. Any type of tape will work. If you want to go duct tape, if you wish to sustain serious damage, go with the duct tape, honestly. But anyways, be careful when you're actually playing, because let me be honest with you, I nearly removed my window.
Also, remove another finger, because last I checked, I nearly cracked one of my fingers. Rest in peace. Well, I still have my finger, regardless.
Yeah, also, wear knee protection when you play, because you're going to be sliding when you're running to get points.
Take that into account, because that's from my experience. You will very, very much know.
If you're still listening and you don't know what the heck we're speaking of, please watch part 1, so you can understand why we're speaking here. This is more or less our yip-yapping, yappuccino, yada yada.
This is stories.
Yeah.
Our little backstory of the little fun that we had back in the days.
Part 1 will give you much more info, much more factual information that you will absorb like a sponge. Yes, and when you play cricket, you must understand, even if you're home, you're not on the field, you have to have the safety equipment with you at all times, especially the knee guards and the crutch guard, because let's be honest, no one wants to lose their jewels. Now, come on. No one.
You pulled that word out of my mouth, man.
But for real, in my experience with cricket, I have had too many bruised knees. I had one like 2 years ago, and I don't intend to have any more. I have too many scars, people.
That's the fun part of cricket that you keep in mind, because you're not just playing for scores. You're not playing for your sponsor. You're playing for enjoyment.
Yes.
Sportsmanship for it.
It's fun until you have a knee twist.
Well, take into account, yes. But
it depends on how much...
the body heals. Keep in mind, the body heals. If you lose a leg, well, yes, you have to not play because you literally lose a leg. However, still, if you twist your knee, you twist your ankles, you can just heal, patch it back yourself, train, and you get better. That's the things.
Yeah, and the worst case scenario, you'll be hopping like a bunny rabbit. Okay, then let's continue. Apologies, guys.
The jokes are too much.
Yeah, but when you play, just keep into account your surroundings to avoid any damages. Let's be honest, your parents will not be fans, to say the least.
Indeed, because at a certain point of time, parents, when they see we are being battered, bruised so much, remember, not many people like to have battered, bruised, and so forth. However, people does it for enjoyment. They see the enjoyment for it. Not everybody has that enjoyment in them. However, when you find a passion, go for it. Do not let nobody hold you against you. Just go for it. If you do not see a right way from your path, if you're seeing you're not getting through it, go somewhere else. There are different angles, there's different variants. Always keep that in mind.
Continuing on, you would honestly, when you are playing cricket, play with a softball. Because if you play with a hard ball, there's more dangerous. There's more risk to it. Play with a softball, get used to it. And if there are adults with you, play with a hard ball.
I would advise not to play, even though you may be an adult. I would advise still play with a softball to just get used to this, because there are a few times I play with a hard ball and let's just say I maybe dislocate 2 or more fingers.
That's you. I took a hit to the shoulder twice, one to the leg, and one near miss to the head, I believe, if my memory serves.
Oh, just hope you're doing good, brother, because
Honestly, I took a -1 damage.
a -1. So are we Saitama here? Like, 0 damage? Like, tell me.
Saitama's ball that would make that ball run away. Let's be honest.
Come on, you don't have to roast the guy.
Oh, come on. I'm an anime fan, too. They can't hold it against me, can they?
That's true. So, right, this is my story of playing a few times in the ball field. So, how much friends did I had back in the days? I forgot. I had a good few. So we divided like well, it's not really necessary the actual team. So we just like divided on how many we got. So say if we got maybe 20 people come, we just divided it in half. So 10 on each side of the team.
Yeah, you got your runner, your fielder, your bowler, your batter.
We still follow the rules. We take a coin, we spin the toss. If it's a heads, whosoever choose heads, they get a go. They have a say into it. If another person choose tails and tails has been shown on the heads of the coin, then they should either bat or bowl. When they bat, obvious the reasons. When they bowl, they have to field. All of the team have to field. Then we have the bowler and so forth.
The advantage of going first in the batting ring is that you can set the amount of points that they have to beat you by. So if you go like 300 balls, 300 points.
The fun fact, you say 300 points, because we go with 500 overs, 6 each in 6 ball each in that over. So if you take into account, that's 300 balls. So say you used to 300, right? So we take an account, see how much runs we're gonna get. So in that 300 ball, right? So where was I? Oh, I was in the corner, one end of the corner. So we have the outer field. So I was in the outer field behind the batter. So the ball kind of come in my direction, so I was trying to get it. However, since we were playing a hard ball, that's one of the part where I dislocate one of my fingers. Let's see what you have to say of your story of it.
That was my story. My first one was that. That's my story. But all honesty, if you guys, my friends in the States and Europe, your best places to play cricket is in fields. If you have don't go to a football field, American football field, but a soccer field or, European football, whatever the heck you want to call it.
You want a wide field. You want a really big field, because take into account, if you have a close field, 4 and 6 are easy to get. However, when you have a larger field, 4 and 6 is not very easy to get.
The name of the game is run and catch the ball. If you have a smaller field, you're not gonna get points. But the larger the field it is, so a cricket field, if you head back to part 1, I'm just gonna do a bit of recap. It's more of a oval shape, and it's very, very
circular oval shape. Correction.
It's like an in between.
Yeah. So
it looks like it looks like your average baseball, but it's also a bit squished.
Yes, not so much squished, but it is. You could see that when you look it out from a higher up position.
It kind of looks like your eye socket.
Forgive me for laughing.
I get what you laugh, but that's the best. That's the closest way I can get you guys to visualize it, in a sense. And when you're playing, I'm sorry for repeating this again. Get the gear. Always wear protection. Otherwise, if you're a fan of Scars, by all means, Rambo it. But if you're not, knee pads, head pads, crutch pads, everything.
You should get those gears, because one of my friends kind of lose one of his.
I feel sorry for him.
I'm not gonna finish the sentence. I'm gonna let y'all mind
I feel
thinkers.
sorry for him. Oh God, I feel
I will
sorry.
let y'all mind thinkers think of what I mean by.
For the gentlemen out there, please leave an F in the chat for him. Leave a rip.
My guy, you don't have the truth thing.
Hey man, every guy knows that's a loss in itself.
Yes.
But continuing, with cricket bats, you gotta make sure you get the right ones. If you're going for a accurate one for like the tournament games, those are gonna be heavy. Make sure you have the best case scenario is you need to do a reverse bicep curl that if for working out that part, and also forearm workouts. So work on your grip if you truly want to excel in cricket.
Necessary functions of your muscle to hit the bat in a way. You see, it depends on your bat and the way how you're using your. Because remember, not everybody bat the same. They're either a left hand dominant or right hand dominant.
Left-handed.
You have to take it into account because remember, not all bat is made of the same material. As you say,
Some are
yes.
softer, some are made with quality wood from the Amazon.
But yes, the bat, right? You have to take it into account because the bat can easily be simply chipped away because of the hard bar. Because remember, the centerpiece of it is like it's not very hard, but it is hard.
It's
you take
kind of hollow, depending on who makes it. It
Yes.
could be hollow.
the bat, however, right? You would pretty much cure that bat with every little necessities you can do because if you don't cure it, polish it, clean it, or do whatever with it, it will easily be rotten and it will not do good for you. It will
Yes.
simply break like a biscuit.
Trust me, when you hear a baseball bat hit, a cricket bat hit, that clank that you like that sound, just know if that happens and your bat splinters, you're out of there.
Come to think of it, when we were playing, one of my bat or one of my friends, I can't recall, but one of our bat we were playing with snapped in my hands like it was a biscuit.
Ew. Let's take a transition. I want to speak of the latest cricket game in Guyana, and I know, disclaimer to all Guyanese listening, this is gonna be a hot topic, a very very touchy subject, so feel free to leave at this moment of time. Let's discuss about the results. Oh Lord have mercy.
I'm gonna cook you.
Have at it. Guyana lost big time again. We won a game after 13 years in 2023, but now in this year we lost again because they decided to make the stupidest move.
Last year, right? I must respect the captain, right? However, the thing he's supposed to notice while he was playing, he should have noticed that every time when he choose, when they feel, if I remember correctly, or when they bat. No, when they feel. When they feel, they tend to win the game because they were worked out by the jumping around, getting the ball for not hitting the end of the ground. So they'll either get a 4 or 6 or catch the ball before it get a 6 or so forth, or get a 4.
Mm-hmm.
Take into account, they always win the game. Anytime they bat, I see they lose because their body not worked up.
Yeah, and with that, I remember he had the weak players go out first, or like the strong players first and the weak ones last. So some kind of mismatch there.
The funny thing you should have done is like mix it up, like put the strong players in between the weaker players. So like if you send out like 3 weaker players for batting skills, everybody's batting skills are not the greatest. Some people batting skills might be the weakest and still win the game.
The
be man of the
ones
match.
they have tactics. The ones that are smart, they know what they're doing. Save them up. Save them for when your enemy's worked up. They're tired.
But not necessarily, because whenever a bowler is very dangerous, who can out you in an instant, either by your wicket or being catched by another person, you have to take into account to your players, because you could either send out your weaker players and lose many wickets, or you send out one of your strongest players to bat that ball serious and send it away, or you have troubles with it, because that bowler will bowl that fella out like it's breakfast.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today. Sorry to cut you guys out.